Oh, this little rascal. Hey, you are very clingy. That's Minnie the monkey. Very needy. I told the universe I wanted a cuddly cat. I mean, oh my god. This is the highest percentile of cuddliness. Like, will not leave my lap. Like, we should have a counter how many times I have to put my cat on the ground. Like, lap count. Probably like 50 to 100 times a day. It just will not stop. It's a little game. Little game. It's very sneaky. Sneak into the lab. Hey, you're not supposed to be here. Huh? You're not supposed to be here. Anyways, so I'm having to take a little kind of break from processing, groups and posts. I still am. I'm just doing it in a different way. I'm actually chronologically going through groups from the oldest post. It's like an OCD thing that I'll do, but it's actually quite insightful because you're seeing how the group evolves. I'm going through Goose's group, my friend Ellie. I don't know why they banned her. I'm actually probably going to talk with him in a week on a call. So I'll, if you want me to say something, I will. But I don't know why they did that. I think it's the women in there. I think he just lets them kind of do whatever. I don't know. Or they were triggered on the subjects of neurodiversity. I don't know. Like, that was weird. I should have probably been banned for some of the things that I said. I was arguing with a bunch of dudes. I said one of the guys was hero worshiping Goose. Like, I was actually kind of shit talking. And then I decided to give him $1,000. Anyways, there was no onboarding, there was no message, there was no welcome, whatever, there was nothing. And I was like, part of me was a little bit annoyed, like, bro, like, you should treat your business like a business. At least send them a freaking message. And if it's not you, have your assistant do it, you know? I mean, what? Like, it's all flow, I guess. So I commented on his post today and I said, yeah, I have the Chrome tool for his CRM, but I was like, any update on the VIP purchase? I said, I figure you're busy, but like, what's up, dude? You know, I mean, I'm not gonna ask for a refund because I know I can. Sometimes I feel like maybe a basic telepathy. I can tell that he's just. I think he's overwhelmed with a lot of shit right now, and he just doesn't want to really deal with it. Like he said, I'll get back to you guys on the 12th. So I was like, yeah, all right, fine, whatever. I'm not really that worried about it, but at least give me the login to the CRM. I mean, Jesus, I think they're still trying to finish it. So whatever, man. I get it. Part of me is go with the flow. Part of me is OCD as hell. So I'm a kind of like 50-50. I'm like half creative, half like really logical. But so today has been about some interesting case studies. I was trying to figure out how to cast my phone on my MacBook so I could show you the screen recordings, but it wasn't really letting me do that. The mirroring. I made a Zoom video. I look so fucking ugly on Zoom. Zoom gives you like a ugly filter, so probably need a ring light. We might not even use Zoom. We might do FaceTime and I'll just screen record the video call. I don't really like Zoom. I'll be honest. It's got such a kind of dead energy on it. We could use Zoom or we can just use FaceTime or do a video call on like WhatsApp. Although I kind of banned Meta. I don't really like to use Meta products, so WhatsApp is a Meta product. I don't like Meta. iPhone mirroring. Try again. iCloud isn't syncing. I guess that's why they want me to sync iCloud. Dude, I don't want to sync iCloud because I don't. They want you to pay for iCloud. Anyways, so okay, resume data sync. Fine, whatever. But they want to put you on a trial. See, that's the annoying thing. You guys care more about me paying for iCloud. Now you're fucking with my synchronization. So I did a case study on Sam Owens. I think that's his name, or is it Sam Oven? I think it's Sam Owen. Skool, not Oven. Owens. Yeah. So realize that he's been building businesses since he was like 26. So a lot of these guys have built several businesses. Some fail, some succeed. That was a really interesting interview. If you're curious, I'll share the link. If not, I'll just talk about it. And then I know quite a bit about Hormozy, who's like the big wig, 9-figure guy. But it's all the same thing. You build a product around a market demand. So the interesting points that I want to highlight are you build around what the market wants, and then you try to also build like what you actually want to do. So if you thought first you thought it was going to be this thing that you're passionate about, but there might not be as much demand because it's so niche, like it's hard to go super targeted, like unless you're joining specific Reddit groups or Facebook groups or joining very specific, it's a very specific thing. Or you could branch out, like my friend, you know, a, I don't want to say special needs, and I apologize if this is the wrong thing to say, but children with neurodivergence. I don't know if that's special needs or not. Not like special needs in a way. Just you know, um, I'm sorry, I don't know exactly how to talk about it. I'm sure we'll figure that out once we do a call. But how to parent effectively when your children have you know certain coping preferences or whatever. So um, that could possibly branch out to inner child work. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. We'll try to just put our energy together and figure something out. But that certainly is a much more cliche. But sometimes being too wide is actually not a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just do business coaching, sales coaching. I spent years, like, I spent the last 5 years trying to figure out, like, what is my audience and what do I want to talk about? I'm not joking. I have spent so much time. The videos that were getting thousands of views on Facebook, since then I've deleted Facebook. But um, yeah, I had the Rising Creator badge from my vlogs. I mean, if you're consistent at anything, you're gonna just start getting traffic. If it streams on a song, you can only really pick one thing to really just go fucking ham on, and let that be that one thing that you're hoping pays you eventually. The hard part about monetizing on traffic is it may take a very fucking long time. So is there a halfway step to make money while you're still building, if you're a streamer or an artist? So yeah. Anyways, these case studies have been interesting. You're trying to build around something that has demand, but that you also enjoy doing. I don't want to just build a business group, but at the same time, I don't like talking with like crazy weirdo spiritual people. Most spiritual people are kind of broke, you know. Like, I need you to be a competent, individual, a member of society. I mean, I have been as hippie and woo woo as like drum circles and, just hanging out in the park, smoking weed and sneaking into the, Barton Springs after hours, just doing, just a little bit too much playing, not enough doing. So I try to find this happy marriage of wellness, inspiration, and, marketing. So that's three totally different things. And I am an artist and I make songs and poems, you know. So I don't know. I guess it's helpful to have overlapping, interests that could somehow intersect. But, so Sam started, he failed a bunch of businesses because he didn't really know what he was doing, as we all do. And then he finally realized that he would just ask people what their actual problem was, created a way to do digital like home inspections for companies, because this was like when the internet was still relatively new. It just all becomes digital. So made a business out of it, made a bunch of money. So you see a need in the market that is not satisfied. if the market is hungry and you're supplying something that many people are not. So you have to kind of think what's your unique, offering, like what's your unique value proposition. What is it about me that makes me different than any other fucking dude? I mean, I'm just talking about organic lead gen, you know that, but I'm also kind of electing myself to be kind of like the front runner of like the momentum, right? I'm also kind of running with the pack. Like I'm doing the work and I'm showing you, yeah, I mean, it really is like 50 comments is equaling a new member. Maybe for some people they don't have to do that much. Maybe some have to do even more. I mean, I don't know. I think again, eventually you may just start getting a lot of organic. If you can get featured and get on page one, you know, then you may not have to do any, right? And you'll just keep growing. You don't have to do anything. So that's the dream. Like if I could just post videos and it organically just grows, but it's tough. It's really tough. The market wants a certain kind of energy and the market wants a certain kind of personality. So I think my market does want me to talk about both, business, but also burnout and healing, because it's like a loop. We grind and then you just inevitably hit that burnout, and then just gotta go into my wellness and my mindfulness, and so I'll watch healing kind of YouTubes, I'll follow kind of spiritual healer people, I'll go through their content, and that actually really does help with it's like a recovery, activation then recovery, rinse and repeat. But today I decided to give the relentless driving a little bit of a break and just kind of use a new part of my brain, a different part of my brain. I went through the oldest posts on the Schoolers. I mean, he shows you what Skool looked like in 2019. It was basic as hell. It looked just like Reddit. They had upvotes and downvotes, and then you could only ask questions or post something. It was very basic. So it's evolved quite a bit. There's still some features I wish they had, but it's probably pretty tough building a huge social media platform. So that was interesting. And then I'm going through Goose's group. It's only been active for like 2 years, but he's built like 5 communities. I watched a couple of interviews that he's done. One of his students went on to win the games, and she has her own thing. She says she's brought in $2 million, which seems to be a bit of a bold stretch because she launched in August of 24. That's not even a year and a half ago. I don't think you made $2 million in a year and a half. I think you're kind of exaggerating, like you helped people, but you're tracking their income as part of your success. I don't like it when they do that. If it's not your fucking income, it's not something to brag about. Don't say 2 million if your personal income is still only like what? I don't know. Anyways, I think you just need to be legit and honest. I don't like people who exaggerate results. But that was one of their oldest posts. He won the Skool games, and then she very quickly won the Skool games. So I gotta be the next one to do it. But yeah, going through it. So Goose was like a creative guy, designer. He did web page design, did a few business things, and then built a bunch of communities. He eventually built a done for you kind of product slash software where they would kind of go in and help you build every part. This was before Skool. I mean, it was tough to build your own community because you had to kind of piecemeal it, the website, then the integration, then the back end, then the email automation, and then the funnels, and they say the copy of it, and then the design of it. And that was basically, it's not that complicated, but it has such a stale vibe to that. It's like, I ever tried ClickFunnels, the fucking it's just a landing page or a sales letter that just looks really nice, and then there's a action step, book a call, or add this to your cart. A few years ago it was all really about like the workshop and the masterclass. That's what you call the webinar funnel. So there's only a handful of funnels: webinar, sales letter, appointment scheduler, or kind of freebie email opt-in. Give me your email address and I'll send you this. If it's worth it, you give it to them, right? But that's obsolete. The Skool community does all of that for you. That's what I love about Skool. They took that outdated, obsolete kind of. They used to use this platform called Go High Level. It's the same kind of thing. It's just like a done for you. It just helps you with all the coding and then the hosting, the subdomain, all that. Ugh, all that techie stuff. I'm pretty fucking smart, but I can't stand it. My mom's a computer science professor, so she was like, gave me a book on Java and like C++, plus plus. Like, maybe you'd like to read this. And I'm going through it. I'm like, oh, dude, I can't fucking deal with this. Like, if I'm interested, I will thoroughly go through everything. I was like, dude, I have no interest in this at all. I like to make videos and just talk a lot and provide support and the vibes, and then also we're gonna bring the flames. But anyways, yeah, so I'm going through like all of his old posts. So there are 299 pages. Each page has 30 fucking posts. I am only on page 298, but it was very interesting actually go through like the last 30 comments in a group, the oldest ones. That's interesting because it really shows you the vibe. Um yeah, so Goose started out with a bang. He had a shit ton of members like that he brought to Skool. So he came in with a huge amount of momentum. I don't know where his communities were, but he already had a really big community. He was already doing giveaways like right at the beginning of school. So he was already doing all these things at work. He was doing cash giveaways. I'll probably try to do something like that once I land a few clients and I have a little bit of a budget. Maybe you do like a $500 giveaway or $1,000 giveaway. There's little things you can do, just kind of get spikes of engagement because that's what's going to bring you to the top of the ranks, right? That's what's going to put you on the front page. So little tricks like that, but man, just like super engaged community immediately. He's had tremendous engagement the entire time, the past, 1.5 years. You're looking at April of 2024, so yeah, I mean, it gets so big to where you can't even comment anymore. So he doesn't even really engage anyone anymore. I mean, that's the goal. I would love to have that in my community in about a year or two. That means you're not like impersonal. It's just, you know, you have so many things going on that it's no longer the highest priority. You don't have to do that anymore to build the group. I still think you should try to respond to a bunch of comments, but how much time do you have? How much energy do you have? You might be so busy with other projects, like that's your load. Then you might pay someone to run your account. I'm not saying, be fake and use a bot to like everyone's post, but it would be nice if you know, what do you think? If you had a humongous YouTube channel, would you pay someone to run your account and leave comments as you, or is that too fake? I mean, I don't know. It still would look nice to see that the person is actually responding. But then, yeah, sometimes, like, I don't know if you know Gary V or Grant Cardone. Sometimes I feel like they pay someone to comment on their account for people. I don't know. I would try it out, but if it felt too inauthentic, then I probably wouldn't. But you only have so much in the day, man. Anyways, so two maybes in my beta program, offers on the table. Um, we can start shooting content, doing sessions this week, next week, this work week. If you want to. Most people need help optimizing their offer. So that could be something of interest. I think for $1,000 of value, I think we should do 6 video calls and then we'll have some, ongoing support. I think that would be worth $1,000. And then really, really crystallizing like the offer. If you want to talk about the offer, we gotta practice making video content because people do like to watch the videos if they're bought into you enough. And I've been playing hours of content today. Like I'm constantly playing content. If it's not on my Google TV or my phone, like I'll have TikTok live running on my phone while I'm working on my computer, or I'll have YouTube playing on my at the same time while I'm watching YouTube. So I'm constantly playing content. But anyways, yeah, some interesting case studies. You see that these guys just worked relentlessly hard and they solved a market problem. And so everybody kind of starts out with like coaching and funnels and upsells and sales and marketing stuff. As the community grows and grows and grows, then they can do less of the outreach and more just content funnels, right? Eventually, you get so good at content funnels, you don't even edit the videos. You just have someone do it for you. That's the OG level status, right? You walk around with people following you like Alex Hormozy. They shoot the content, they edit the content, they even post the content, they even run your social medias for you. All you got to do is just show up and do what you do best. All you have to do is do what you do best, and then your team will handle everything else for you. That's the real goal. So, yeah, it's good to kind of get some curiosity. Like, if I really like a group, I'm going to start going through all of the posts, right? So I'm still going through a shit ton of posts every day, but I'm curious on how these really successful groups like have been going, and like it's still the same type of post even from 2 years ago. It's a welcome post. It's the same shit. It's just he's got a lot of people participating. So, but he's said he's been doing that for like 4 years. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. So, a little bit of a case study on Goose. There's an interview with him with this other girl. What is her name? I accidentally deleted the tab. Her name is Patrice Moore. She says that I don't know, 10K in 30 days. I don't know. I have no idea, like, if you exaggerate. Won the Skool games with Alex. I don't know if you can see that. You get to meet Alex Hormozy, the guru. But I requested to join her group. I'm going through top earners, and it's all the same thing. You know that it's the active. She reminds me of a female version of me. It's like hardcore red, but sometimes that's just what it takes to win. Um, you know. So I'm not doing a whole lot of commenting today. I need to take a little bit of a break from that. But I am going to be spending time. I'm going to see how many of these posts I can go through. How many posts can you even process in an hour? So I'll run a timer, and I'll do weird shit like this. I'll run a timer. I'm really into numbers. I'll run a timer and see like how many posts I can even process in an hour. I mean, to go through 298 pages, 9,000 comments or posts, I mean. But I think that will be interesting because I want a group that's that big. I do want a group to grow that big, and I do want to have a ton of people who are engaging. So, all right, man, let me know what you're up to today. Peace.